As the human race's population on the planet Earth grows towards the 9 billion mark, oxygen is becoming scarce and CO2 is rising. Food is becoming scarce and hunger is rising. Clean drinkable water is becoming scarce and thirst is rising. Now China have put a cap on the amount of children that your family is allowed to have. They've said that you as a couple are only allowed to have one child. In India they have this thing where you pass your money on to the heir of your family, which is your firstborn son. Doesn't matter if you have 3 daughters and then a son pops out as your 4th, he gets all the money. So you have to have a son to pass your money on to, sort of thing. So they kill the daughters left, right and centre just to keep up with their religions and their beliefs. Eskimos,
Greenland,
not so much now, but 50 years, 60 years ago and before then, times were quite hard.
Greenland,
and they had to go out hunting for seals to get enough food, and if it was a bad winter and the ice pack wasn't good, they didn't collect enough food to get through the winter, and the female, the wife, dropped out a female baby, they'd just stick it out in the snow and let the polar bears take it away and eat it. If you've got 5 females in your igloo and 10 males, you're going to be able to get a lot of food. Well, if you've got 10 females and 5 males, it's a little bit harder. You might grow some plants. Let's go and grow some plants instead of killing that nice seal. So it's left for the men to go out and do the killing and gutting. Women don't mind it too much if it's dead, but it's the killing of it that they can't do. They really have a problem with actually killing animals that they've come to love. That's why the Eskimos do it. Now, this bloke I'm just about to show you, right? He is basically saying he thinks families should have one child. Now, if that is put to English people and it's put as a law, and you can't have more than one child within the next 10 years, do you think English people will start doing that, or do you think that just the first one that pops out, that'll be it? There'll be a certain sect in the community, and they will make sure that they don't have a female baby. They'll make sure it's male. I bet you any money. People are judging China now, right now. People are judging India right now. People are judging Ireland.
Greenland.
Right? But put in their situation, what would you do? You know? Here's the video anyway. Let's show you the video.
Countries should just have one child in future in a bid to save the planet. Chris Davis says that an overgrowing population means that the world's resources will run out quicker. And he joins me now from Brussels. So, Mr. Davis, a bit drastic, isn't it, asking couples to restrict themselves to just one child?
I don't think so, Gordon. I'm just about to fly off to Bali to the climate change conference, where governments across the world are trying to agree a programme for measures to reduce our global warming emissions which are coming because we're consuming more and more and burning more and more fossil fuels. But the background to most of this growth is simply rising population numbers. When I was born in 1954, we had less than 3 billion people on this planet. Now we have more than 6 billion, and we're heading rapidly towards 9 billion. Just how many people can this planet support?
But many families believe that having a second child is important. It's companionship for the first child. It teaches the children to share, that they're not the single most important thing. All important values in growing up. And why shouldn't they have that right?
Well, I don't doubt that, and I recognise that I wouldn't want to point the finger at people who have large families and say, you're the cause of some of our problems. Because, of course, we simply haven't been aware of the enormity and the scale of difficulties that the planet faces until recent years.
What do you say to someone like the Roman Catholic Church, then, for instance, who is opposed to contraception?
Well, I'm not saying this contraception is the answer. What I'm saying is that people should be considering having children, above all, simply delaying the date of marriage, for example, in the case of Roman Catholics, having children a bit later, having fewer children. The United Nations just came out with a report last month which said that partly as a result of climate change and as a result of sheer population numbers, over the next 20 years, 2 billion people are going to be facing acute water scarcity and famine. I mean, this is disaster on a biblical scale, and the Catholic Church, of course, will want to address that as it has to examine its approach to population.
I mean, our time is up, but I just must make one thing clear. You're not in any way saying that this should be enforced. You're recommending.
No, what I want is for politicians to start putting this on the agenda. It should no longer be regarded as something that must be swept aside.
Thank you very much indeed for joining us in Brussels, Chris Davis. Thank you. Well, there you are. What's your view? Have you got a large family? Perhaps you disagree.
There you have it. Someone proposing to the European Union government, basically the European government, that we should put a cap on Europeans having more than one child, and I completely agree. I think we should put a cap on Africans, Brazilians, Americans, Russians, Australians as all, unless we're going to get off our lazy fat asses and start populating the moon, and start populating Mars, and start populating Titan, and start populating space. Unless we're going to start doing that right now, this planet is too packed. We need to start on having a big war, or start reducing the population by restricting people from having too many children. And those that disobey have the second child taken away from them, have the first child taken away from them, and have them neutered because they're not responsible citizens. Don't kill them, neutered, so they can't have children again. But those who are responsible, we keep them fertile just in case we need to. Just in case. Those that are irresponsible, we neuter them. Right, and we really should kill their children, because they're going to be just as irresponsible as their parents. But the best thing to do is to take them away from their parents and teach them with different parents. Give them a chance in life, because their parents are irresponsible. And I like the way that Roman Catholics were brought up there, because their stance on no contraception, well, their stance on Earth being the centre of the universe up until about 10 years ago was a load of crap. And I think they ought to lose their stance on contraception as well, which is another load of crap. They take the piss out of Jehovah's Witnesses, they take the piss out of Christians, they take the piss out of Aborigines, they take the piss out of Incas. Well, that's on cloud nine.